Basically, they went into the back end of Twitter and they found that some people were being quote unquote shadow banned or filtered is what Twitter calls it. And basically they would have like different sensors that they could put on different accounts that they could either like stop you from being searched. So it'd be harder for people to find you like through search. They can actually stop the amount of people that are shown your tweet. And the ones that Barry put out, am I pronouncing that right? Is it Barry or Barry?
Barry.
It's Barry, right? And Barry basically said it was like mostly right-wing people, like Dan Bongino and people from like Turning Point USA and stuff like that. It was mostly right-wing accounts. So the way it's painted, at least, is that there's a slant against right-wing commentators on Twitter to like censor their content.
Now, would you say that this is also a function of the people working for Twitter in the same way that that other thing that came out with Twitter? Remember, they were like, they were silencing like both.
Like the Biden thing where like they were able to pull off the laptop story.
Yeah, and they were able to pull off other Republican stories, but there were just more Democrats working at Twitter, so then more Democrats had access to those people, so more stories could take them down.
The other thing I can't verify is whether or not they broke terms of service, and if in their own internal terms of service, if they have like, hey, if you break this thing, your profile is going to be quote unquote shadow banned. I think the thing that people
so if it was already in there, they're not breaking any rules.
The thing that people are frustrated about is that what's the dude that created Twitter? What's his name?
Jack Dorsey.
Dorsey said that they don't shadow ban.
That's the thing when they come out and it's like, I love what Elon said when he was basically like, we're going to do that. He goes, everybody has freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom of reach. So what we will do is like notch down your visibility if you're saying racist things or hateful things, etc.
And I think he said he'll actually show when you are being shadow banned now.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So well, just
dude,
be
that's the thing
transparent about it.
Yeah, that's better. Actually.
And yo, here's the thing: like people fall in line. Like it's so funny. Like TikTok will take down a clip because we curse. You know what we take away from TikTok now?
Curses.
The curses. Instagram will take away a video for whatever. You know what we take down? Video for that, whatever the fuck they're saying. It's like people will conform because we're using this thing to access millions of people for free. Now, I understand, you know, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product, or whatever that fucking saying is. But at the same time, all you need to do is just give a little bit of a punishment and then people will fall in line. It's really interesting because we value more being able to access these people than we do like holding true to saying the word fuck in a statement.
Yeah.
Like as long as the rules are generally clear. Like I don't think people care that much about the rules as long as like they're fair and equal for everyone.
Yeah.
I think it's like when it's all nebulous and it's like, am I shadow banned? Like how many times have you been shadow banned off of Instagram or whatever?
I would way rather know.
Or like Duval,
just tell me.
Duval got shadow banned. Like a bunch of accounts get shadow banned. It's like, what is happening? Why?
There's no transparency on Facebook.
And you can't even appeal it. You can't ask anyone about it. It's just like this thing happens to you and then you're just stuck.
But that's why I think it would be great if he actually like shows that you're shadow banned and the reasoning why you are. That would be amazing.
But I wonder if
that's the one thing that he's doing good.
I wonder if it's actually more effective. Now, I'm not saying I like it as much, but I wonder if it's more effective the way that Instagram does it, where they just shadow ban you. And there's no real way to communicate with them. There's no real way to have a conversation with them. They're just like, these are the rules, and if you break them, you're gone. And you break enough of those rules, you start going, you either decide, you go, I don't want to fuck with this app no more, or you go, all right, I got to abide by the fucking rules. The fact that you can have a conversation with someone at Twitter and argue with them and then do this whole legalese thing where you're like, well, technically it's not a trans joke if you really look at it like this, you're gonna be spending millions of dollars on just random fucking conversations with trolls on the internet.
Will you keep people on the app more though? Because that's really what matters at the end of the day.
That's true.
If you're that much less inclined to use Instagram, either because you don't want to deal with the rules or because you feel like it's less fun, then you're hurting your product.
Right now, there's no competition besides, I mean, TikTok is obviously competition, but they have even more strict rules.
Yeah.
So it's like, if there's no other competition, you can go to fucking Parler, Truth Social, or these other places. They're just like troll fields of people screaming the N-word and putting up swastikas and shit just to prove that they can. Yeah. There's no real content there. You don't want to like exist there with your content. So I'm not saying what I like. I want to be able to say whatever I want. What I'm saying is if I was running a company, you want a policy that allows people to act in the way that you want them to act with by doing the least amount of administration possible.
Well, I think TikTok does. They just tell you why, like cussing and sometimes it's still vague, but they're a little bit more explicit in why you get. So you're like, all right, now I know what to do. Whereas with a shadow ban, you don't know what the fuck is happening. Somebody said, tell you you're shadow banned. You don't know what's going on. And it's just so ambiguous and there's no clarity.
Yeah.
And then you're just, hey, let's get rid of anything that could be fun or whatever.
So then basically say, okay, you're shadow banned for a week. It's going to limit the amount of people that can see your content, yada, yada, yada. That's what you would prefer,
Yeah.
you're saying?
No, I prefer, This, hey, you broke this rule, you're shadow banned, this lasts for a week. All right, I know what I did, I know what I need to do to fall in line.
I think to what Mark said earlier, as long as it's even, as long as everybody's playing by the same rules. And it felt as if it wasn't for
Or
Twitter.
at least that's the way they present it. I don't know, and I didn't read every single tweet of like the whole thread, but that's the example she brought up.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Like having some sort of constitution, like a digital constitution, if you will, of the things that like we can accept. And this is all going to be based on more or less like where advertisers are going to spend their dollars.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Like what if advertisers just all came together and said, yo, we don't care if people curse. We don't care if people make jokes about marginalized groups. We don't care about anything. We just want the views. All these rules would go away.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean America in the 90s? Is that what you're describing?
100%, right? Like, isn't that interesting? They're not doing this for some sort of like moral, taking like a moral high ground or trying to like virtue signal. They're trying to feed their bottom line, which makes sense. You're a business.
Yeah.
This is not a...
The irony is Twitter is probably the app most responsible for companies having to act like this now. Because people used to take all their outrage there, they got negative PR, and then they would be like, all right, we have to change everything, we have to be more diverse, we have to be more, it's like constantly concerned about perception. Before social media, before Twitter, 10 of us would get upset, 1,000 of us would get upset, whatever. Where do we go with that? We just sit in our house, and you got to look up the fucking number and call the headquarters, and 99% of people aren't doing that.
Yeah. Nabisco, I don't
Write
think
a fucking
cared.
letter or an email, come on, bro.
And you know what's funny is that we could get away from this advertiser model if everybody just paid for Twitter.
Yeah.
Which is literally what Elon's suggesting. Now, there's no way in fucking hell we will do that.
Yeah.
So because we're not willing to pay for it, we're going to have to accommodate certain rules that they have. We can't fucking cry about it. Like, what are we supposed to say? I should be able to do whatever I want in your restaurant?
Yeah.
That's the rule?
Yeah.
For free.
For free, and eat for free.
Yeah.
And make money off your... I should be able to sell my food in your restaurant
Yeah.
however the fuck I want, and not be criticized in any way, shape, or form for it. I understand why they have frustration, especially with us when we complain. I understand from the company's perspective, they're like, motherfucker, you ain't even paying for this shit.
Yep.
And you have millions of followers, and you're able to monetize those millions of followers from our platform, and you're gonna be upset that we don't let you say the word fuck? Or you're gonna be upset that we don't let you say the N-word?
Yeah.
Like, that's your pushback? What I don't like is, and Duval pointed this shit out, when the rules lack an understanding of diversity and culture. So Duval was basically like, yo, there's no black people that are on the boards of these fucking, there's no black people on the boards of these, what is it? They're like monitoring the comments and monitoring the content. And he goes, so they're thinking that certain things that exist within black culture that are not bullying or being critical at all. Calling someone stupid, calling someone dumb for being funny.
Yeah.
Oh, you stupid, oh, you dumb. Those comments were getting flagged as bullying. So he goes, yo, they're making it so we can't even be black.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great point,
That
man.
happened to Weezy. She got like shadow banned because she put like yes, bitch, or whatever, and they didn't realize that.
So now that's an adjustment that they can obviously make. But to me, when he said that, I was like, yo, that's the most profound criticism of Instagram or social media I've ever seen. It's like, if social media is going to dictate culture and you make it essentially illegal for aspects of black culture, Latino culture, Asian culture, like Italian culture to exist there because they can be viewed as bullying or they can be viewed as insensitive, you're making a very homogenous culture that's gonna lose all the flavor that we love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Twitter without Black Twitter, it's not Twitter, bro.
Come on, bro.
It's not Twitter, bro.
Yeah.